Try that again. Hello, hello! Welcome to the Thursday morning stream. How are you? I'm Liz Gridley. I'm here in my studio. I'm ready to do some painting. I wasn't quite ready for the morning, but I got up an hour ago and played with the dog for like ages, so we both had a lot of fun this morning, and now I'm ready to calm down and chill a bit and get some work done, which will be really nice. So, what are we working on today? We're working on the one we started last week. So this is a piece, I can zoom out a little bit, that is sort of predominantly Cloudscape, and that's going to be coming around the arms of the figure. So yeah, we sort of went very slap happy with a new wet medium last session, and I didn't realise the medium was a slow dryer, so it's taken just over a week, and some areas are still the tiniest bit tacky, but they're not moving under my fingertips, they don't feel perfectly dry. So yeah, learned a lot with that medium. Probably not the best one to use for a first layer of a painting, so I'll remember that for next time. But I'm going to keep going with it today and see how it lays up on top of itself, because that's another thing. Some mediums are really good at that, some mediums aren't. So yeah, we're still learning, experimenting, but I sort of wanted to start with a little bit of skin, maybe the hand and the ear and things like that. The hand has gotten a bit big, so we're going to have to shrink that a bit. And yeah, just gradually work our way through the painting. I do like some areas, like down here in the chest, I'd say that's pretty well done. I don't think I need to add a lot of detail to that. But yeah, I can gradually progress through the painting and figure out how this cloud form is going to come around. It's kind of just going into our armpit at the moment, and I think we need to make it come around a bit more rather than straight down. So we'll figure all that out when we get to clouds. But that's the plan, basically. So I'll zoom you back in. Let's zoom in on that hand and ear section, like I said we'd do. Hey Kristen, how are you? How is your morning or evening? I need to remember not everyone's in Australia, so the time zones are a bit weird. There we go, let's start with that. Cool. How has your day been so far? I was just saying I've been playing with the dog most of the morning, so you know. Dipper's a very fun companion, and now she's chilling out on the couch. As you do. We might see her later. I will warn you, she does not look the same as she did in the last one. Hi Eric! How are you? How's things? Sorry. Oh, what have you got up to today? Have you got a big plan for today? Today's officially my husband's first day of annual leave, so he's going to sleep in until probably lunchtime. That's my guess, anyway. Dipper's already been going up to the door and being like, when's Daddy getting up? And I'm like, oh honey, not for a while. He's off work. Oh, you are in Victoria, Kristen, my apologies. This weather is beautiful. Although I gotta say, I've had to put down my screen curtain because it was all like bright orange light directly on the canvas the second I came into the studio this morning. And I'm like, oh, that's not ideal for painting. Shows you how many weeks it's been since I've done a morning session, but yeah, the sunshine is just gorgeous. Gorgeous, which we like. So yeah, the hand is only meant to be going to about there. Okay. Just gonna quickly, I think I've added one extra finger where it doesn't belong, and that's how we ended up with this giant hand. Okay, so that's sort of how big the hand's meant to be. Yes! Even though Dr. Batman doesn't get to do any of the holiday things that we'd planned, he needed the time off. And he had a really nice send-off from work, which was really nice. Some of the nurses and that specifically sort of called him up and said, hey, thanks for working with us, because he's going to be changing, not departments, but like the area he works in when he goes back to work, which is quite cool. Yeah, so he'll be seeing all different people. Just blonking in a little bit of random cover. We'll come back and do Cloudscape stuff later. But that's just so I can see easily where my hand is meant to be. Beautiful. Oh. Part of that, I mean, bring it in. Yeah, where that finger's gonna be. Something like that, and then I think this angle's wrong, but we'll figure that out. Small brush. Yeah. That's a good idea. Sort of do a bit of a reset Yeah. I still haven't quite done that. I've got handbags all over the main table and stuff from work and stuff from projects from the middle of the week everywhere. I should do a bit of a reset. That's the problem. The dining table for us is definitely a bit of a dumping ground during the week, and we just plonk everything there. But then you've got to spend that day figuring out what hath been plonked. And that can always be a bit of a... I don't want to... It feels good when I do it though. It feels very organised once you get through that pile of I don't know what's here. But I do find I'm the same as an artist. I'll sort of just keep piling stuff on top of each other until it gets a bit dire. And then figure it out later. Or later Liz has to figure out a lot of stuff that the rest of Liz does. Excuse me. Just watched a video on YouTube by Scott Waddell about ears, and he named all the parts of the ears, and I've already forgotten them. I think this part's the helix. I was trying to remember, and then this is like the reverse helix. And then there's that's the lobe down there behind the arm. Then this is called a bit, and that is called a bit, and I forget what those bits are. Good morning, Sarah. How are you? How are you on this sunny, shiny day? Have you got much planned for the day, Sarah? I've been playing with the dog all morning. She's so fun to rub and scratch now because my dog got quite a severe haircut. It's her first proper shave down. And because we're coming into summer, I'm like, just take it all off, more or less. Kristen with the good words. Yes, conch was definitely one of them. And tragus, is that little knobbly bit that's next to, like, it's like that bit? Yeah? Yeah. Yeah. The doctor is very asleep, Sarah, because today's the first day of his annual leave. So I don't expect him to get out of bed for at least 2 to 3 hours. Much to the dog's disappointment. It's the fact that I'm up and around. She's ready to do normal daily schedule, which involves a walk, but the walk is normally like midday, and today we're doing an afternoon walk, so she gotta wait. She gotta wait. Yes, leave is awesome. Very, very excited. It was quite nice. The staff at his old position were really nice and said a few nice words about him before he left, so that made him feel good, and then he'll be starting at the other hospital section when he goes back. But yeah. Excited we still get to do some fun things with the people we were meant to be seeing and hanging out with in this period. So excited to hang out with you on Saturday, digitally. I'm actually looking forward to that a lot. It should be fun. Just saying we're starting off with our ear today. And our hand, because the hand is a bit of a mangled mess at the moment, but we'll figure it out. It's fine. Everything's allowed to be a mangled mess at the moment. Good thing about having the proper underpainting for the ear though is now I can just pull out the highlights and the shadows and then it's pretty much done. Which is nice. So we're going to have one really finished ear and everything else is going to look haphazard. Which isn't how I normally paint, but it's how I feel like painting today. Well, one little piece of done to remind me that it will all be done eventually. I think because I'm in my head, I'm thinking so much about Oiltober, which is coming up. Which, do you guys all know about Oiltober? I'm pretty sure some of you do. Kristen, do you know about my Oiltober project? It's a paint one thing a day challenge, much like Inktober and Drawtober and all those other ones that are on in the month. It's a very productive month for us artists. But yeah, Oiltober sort of, it was started by Lena Danya, who's a YouTuber who's amazing. And she painted just sort of whatever she wanted once a day for the month. And then I started using the Inktober prompts because I wanted prompts. And then last year what I did was actually ask all my followers for prompts. And that was super fun. So starting about mid-September, I will be asking everyone for prompts over on Instagram, probably here in the community tab on YouTube as well, and in the Discord. Yeah, and you can contribute your own prompts, and then I'll put them all in a bowl and draw one a day. And I will be painting little paintings on dodgy paper, which is a handmade paper made here in Melbourne. It's the only time of the year I really focus on making small works, and I really like it. Like, it's hard, I'll be honest, it is hard. I always get to about day 20, and then I start flailing a little bit, and I get more indecisive. But I think it's a really good challenge, and as much as each time I'm like, oh, that was really difficult, I shouldn't do this next year, I get to this time of the year and I'm like, oh, I'm so excited, I want to do it. So my paper is being made as we speak. I asked Dodgy Roger for a specific lot of paper from Dodgy Paper, and I'm very, very excited to receive that at some point. Although Australia Post is doing weird things at the moment, so hopefully there is no delays. They're doing something like delaying parcel post for retail customers or something, and I'm like, what counts as retail? I don't know. Just because apparently they've got a huge backlog, and I'm like, well, that's what happens when everyone's just living at home. We buy everything online and it all has to be posted. But I don't know. We will see. We will see. But yeah, so that's Oiltober. So you got to keep an eye out on Instagram and the Discord and all that for when I ask for prompts. And then I think I'll be doing a lot more live streaming in the month of October. So pretty much anytime I have an opportunity to do my piece from home, I'll probably live stream it. And then I'll be doing like one video a week of all the ones I did that week. So yeah, I think last year I did one video every 4 pieces, but this year I'll do it once a week. Just so that way I can condense the editing time. Yeah, which should be pretty good. I'm excited. Also, if you've watched any of my Oiltober videos from last year and the year before, you can see that I allow myself some pretty broad interpretations of prompts, so you can throw whatever you want in there. I'll figure out a way to paint it. Hey, Mealy! No worries. Oh, it is definitely coffee caffeine time, for sure. I had a little bit before we started. Oh, it's that kind of a day. Safe travels while getting your coffee. Yee. You got a big study day ahead? Hello! Hey Shani, how are you? How are you this morning, this very sunny morning? I think I've made this year almost too dramatically contrasty, but that's okay. I can always calm it down later. Chasing duckies! Do they deserve it? I'm guessing they do. Love ducks. Okay. So the hair needs to be a fair bit darker. So. Okay. Get some dark hair in here. Doing a couple of flyaways. This brush is actually semi-dry because I didn't wash it properly. but didn't wash it. I mean, didn't wash it at all. But that's advantageous when doing hair, because it's just leaving these little swoofs. You chase them slowly. The very cartoony walking away like a Disney tune. I love it. That's a true waddle chase. Thank you. Yeah, no, I like how dramatic the oranges and reds of her are against this cold blue sky. So I was going for very high contrast chroma in this one. Although we've got a lot of sky refining to do, so that will be after I get some skin done. Don't know if we'll get to the face today, we'll see. We shall see. I think I said I'd do face in the title. I might change that if we don't end up doing the face. That's the problem when setting up for a stream. You've really got to guess what you're doing, and like I always come into the studio with a vague plan of what I want to do. Like, which piece do I want to work on? Which sort of bit do I want to start with? But like, I'm very open to, if I feel like doing something else, I'll use that energy to do the thing I'm interested in doing rather than slogging through on something that I'm really not feeling, because I find if I slog through, I always hate what I paint. So, my painting mood is very emotionally together with how I'm feeling at the time, and the results reflect that. Which is a hard lesson to learn about yourself, that you can't sort of force it when you want to, but I've got a number of terrible paintings that have proven that, and now I've just got to listen to the evidence. A smoothing brush. What shape is it? I know a deerfoot brush, that's like the little, it comes down together and then it has like a tapered tip a little bit. You mean, oh, smooching brush. No, I haven't tried a smooching brush. We sell them at work. They're sort of like little fat dudes that come to a point. But yeah, I thought they were mostly for watercolor. Are they mostly for watercolor? They look a bit delicate for oils. I'd be worried about breaking it. Smooching. A great name for a brush, a smoocher. I use a lot of angle cuts like these little guys. And I use a lot of filberts, like those dudes. Because the filberts are the ones I use for actual smoothing. Because they don't leave sharp edges. With that curved tip, they leave it really nice and soft, which is cool. So I use them a lot. But yeah, these little angles, I like how diverse they are, because they can do like little straight lines, they can do like big shapes, and they can do like little point shapes. So you end up with like 3 different ways of using one brush without having to change brush every 2 seconds. Main ones I don't use a lot of rounds. I find that they don't buy enough paint. And I think it's just because I'm out of practice with them, honestly. Because anytime I've said I really hate a brush, I'll then go to use it for a while and then I'll end up loving it. Like filberts, I used to say I hated filberts, and it was just I didn't know how to use them. I think smooching is the name of the shape for that brush, but I haven't seen any that are specifically like oil painting smooching brushes, which is not to say that you can't use them for oils. I just haven't tried. I've seen them made of synthetic and of natural hair, so I'd say it's the shape is the name. Not most of the time the shape is the name, unless it's something like sable, which is the name of the fibre, or tacklon, which is the name of the fibre. But yeah, no, I'd be interested to see what marks they make. A lot of the time, if I'm curious about brush shapes, I have a look on YouTube to see a brush review. Because like we got the Princeton Neptune watercolor brushes in at work, and there's so many different shapes, and I'm like, oh my god, what do they all do? So I looked it up on YouTube, and it was like, oh, someone did like 3 marks with each brush, and that was really, really informative. And then I was like, oh, I want to try this brush, and I don't want to try that brush. Not that I do a lot of watercolor painting, but I've got a couple of watercolor brushes, probably a handful, a small handful. I mainly do watercolor, honestly, to make birthday cards for my friends. And things like that. I love doing little watercolor illustrations on some watercolor paper for a card. I just think it's really cute. You can do something that's a bit more personal, which for me a lot of the time is painting a meme or painting like, I don't know, an avatar character or something. Not Avatar the movie, but like a little character that looks like my friend or something like that. I really like watercolor for that. And it's fast, so if you haven't got a card and you need a card in an hour, you can make a watercolor card and it dries in time, and oil doesn't do that. Have you ever given something like a brush a nickname before finding out the actual name and then it just stuck? Ooh. See, the hard part about this is I work in an art shop, so I have to really make sure I know the real names for things. I think in a lot of cases, like, I call this an angle brush because it's literally an angle, but they're called, what, Taklon shaders? Or Taklon angulars? And I'm like, that's a dumb name, I'm just gonna call it angle because that's obvious. But I don't know, I haven't had any really fun names for things. All my describing words are really weird, like I use wishy-washy and stuff like that all the time. Describing textures, which things are really blobby, which things are less blobby. That kind of stuff. I wish I gave more nicknames to stuff. I love doing nicknames on things. I think that's the art shop's fault, is that I learn real names because I have to tell people about the things to sell them. And that kind of defeats me creating my own names for stuff. Which is a bit sad, thinking about it. Used to make cards. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, I do like it when they've got the little ripped decal edges. That just looks so nice and handmade. White coloured pencil done first. Yes, and creating a repel. Yeah, I remember doing that. And like when you did salt on the watercolour to do the little psh sort of effects. They were really cool. I haven't done stuff like that in ages. Oh, we should have like a watercolour day. You guys can just see me flounder. I've only got... Well, actually, I've got one little watercolour set. It's a Winsor & Newton one, which is like a pocket traveller one. But then I got an empty case for a larger Cotman set that didn't have any paints in it. So now I've put the paints from the little Winsor & Newton one into the Cotman set going, oh, I can buy more colours now. I haven't bought more colours, so it just looks really empty. So I should go and buy some more colours. Because that was the whole thing. I was all like, if I have this big empty box, then I can just add to it over time. And I haven't added to it at all. But, eh. I used to work at Riot too! Riot buddies! Ages and ages ago. And yeah, Riot was more craft. I had a little bit of fine art stuff, but it kept sort of coming and going, which was frustrating. Oh, I do miss that when someone would come in with a project and you just get to go full project mum and go, okay, here's some ideas, let's go. What are we going to do with this? Like, we used to get so many school project mums in and stuff like that, and you get to get really creative. I remember one was like a kid doing ski slopes and he had to do like the little ski lift and we had to figure out how to do that, and that was really fun. Oh, that sort of stuff is fun. That's the sort of thing I'm like, when I'm a mum one day, anytime kids come home with a school project, I'm going to be like, let me do the project. And they're going to be like, no, Mum, it's my project. F off. But I like dioramas. You don't get good excuses to make dioramas as an adult. Which is a bit sad. Although dioramas, yeah, what do you do with them once they're done? But beside the point. The fun of representing something in 3D and making a big sculpture. You can also throw watercolour on top of any pencil drawing and give it a real vibrancy. That's true! That's true. My favourite coloured pencils are my watercolour pencils, so I often sort of do a bit of a combo there. The only thing I find with watercolour pencils, if you're not doing it over the top of like solid colour, they look very wishy-washy. I hate seeing the white through the pencil work, so I have a love-hate relationship with them. A lot of the time I've got to think about doing the background first. Hi Jess! How are you? How was your morning? I didn't expect you to be up this early. Although, actually, you're probably working, aren't you? So. No, you're not working. Why are you up this early? Shut up. I was saying earlier, my darling husband, today's his first day of annual leave, so I don't expect to see him for a couple of hours. He's in bed. The other thing I'm just going to mention quickly is I think our face shrunk our arm took over, so I'm gonna quickly do a little mark off of that. I think this needs, I mean, you've moved from bed to the hammock outside. Oh, that's a perfect way to spend today's beautiful sunny day. How do I figure out how to paint in a hammock? That's my question. I don't think it would work. Gravity is an issue. I just realised I probably won't be able to come over to your house for Oiltober like I did last year. Because we're going to be locked down for the whole of October, more or less. Whee! That makes me sad. I did like doing Oiltober because my setup is quite portable. I use my Edge Pro Gear easel, which sort of looks like a laptop, and all the pieces are about A5. It's very easy to paint at friends' houses or paint in the park or that kind of thing. My only hiccup is when I want to film it at the same time, but we figured that out. A certain someone had a little outdoor power generator, which was very helpful. Specifically for Oiltober reasons. But yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to do a lot of that this year because we've got all the lockdown issues with Victoria. And the numbers going up, which is really sad because they were doing okay for a while there. And I was all optimistic. My optimism hasn't died, it's just started being sad again. I swear, I'm not that sad. But I am sad. But I'm not that sad, but I am sad. It's a cycle. I keep going back and forth in the cycle. Just using watercolor pencils is hard to make look good. Yeah, they look much better with something. On top of normal colored pencil. Oh, I haven't tried that. I don't think I've got any normal colored pencils, weirdly. Or at least none that aren't like Crayola colored pencils from a million years ago. That's something I should look into when work has all the Christmas stuff, because sometimes there's really nice like polychromos sets. Like that. Art supplies I probably don't need. Although yeah, at the moment, obviously I'm not spending money on art supplies because I have a savings goal. Our little Ko-fi account, which you can see here. Normally it's set up to, if you guys want to buy me a cup of coffee, you're more than welcome to. But at the moment we've changed the goal to, I want to get a digital SLR camera for streaming. So that way this is a lot more high res, you can see the texture of the paint, and I can have a lot more control over the lighting. So when we're doing nighttime painting and all that, it's not so blown out. So yeah, all the proceeds of any art sales at the moment from my website, lizgridley.com.au, are going towards the camera, as well as any donations to Ko-fi. So thank you to everyone who supported that. I've gotten some amazing donations, and we're about, what, 40% of the way there, which is awesome. Yeah, it's lovely. So I'm very much looking forward to being able to show you guys better detail of what I'm doing, basically. There's no cases at all in Northland? Yeah, which is good. That's a good thing, but it's still frustrating that you're in lockdown, the same as the rest of us. There keeps being like, I'm out in the east, and there keeps being like 1 or 2 odd cases here and there. And like, you feel like there's no one out here, and then suddenly they'll be all like, oh, the Croydon shops, or... There was somewhere in Kilsyth the other day, some random business, and I'm just like, ugh! Too close to home, too close to home. Oh yeah, there was one that was like a business 3 streets away from work. And I was just like, that's too close to home, I don't like it. But I don't know, there hasn't been any sort of call for the east to get tested as a hotspot or anything the way it has with like Shepparton and stuff, so hopefully that means it's okay and those cases were tracked down and isolated quick smart. I don't know. Sorry, my ear got a big there, so I just needed to cut in a little bit. There we go. Beautiful. Alright. Let's try and figure out this hand, shall we? It is looking weird. Very weird. And the hard part about this hand is it really doesn't have that much color and value variation. It's really one solid thing with a little bit of lineation between the fingers. So, it's quite a dark mix. Darker than what it is right now. And we're just gonna gradually block it all in a bit again. So it was blocked in, but it was wrong because the hand was too big. Okay. Let's start with one big blob and then paint lineations into it. Yeah. It was nice to reminisce about, right? But I do not miss them, and I do not miss them not paying their staff at the end there and doing the right thing by them. Like, telling them that they were going to shut down the business. Because I thought that was a scummy move. Don't buy from Riot Online. They're a much better art retailer than ever. Better faster on delivery and sell better quality shit too. My boss at work was curious about their online thing and he bought some of their language paints and they arrived so battered and bruised they were not in, like, packaging at all. They were just shoved in a box with no stuffing. So they were just rocketing around the whole time that they were in postage and we were just shocked. We were like, seriously, this is their new online store business that they're advertising. This is shit. And we ended up showing it to Language because we're shit stirrers like that. And they were also not quite so happy about it. So, good. Don't ruin people's products and make it look like the product is bad when really it's your handling of them that is bad. And that's the goss for the day from Liz, who's feeling salty. I don't know why I'm feeling salty. Maybe it's my morning mood. I worked the past 2 days, so I'm actually quite glad to be in the studio today. Because, yeah, at work it is crazy busy because everyone needs their art supplies in lockdown, which is fair enough. But yeah, I think I spoke on the phone to at least 100 people yesterday. And that's why my voice is a little croaky today, so I do apologise about that. It was a lot of phone calls. I basically chased up everyone who had a click and collect order, chased up everyone who had item requests, which feels really good to go through those kind of piles, and it feels like we're on top of everything again now, which is good, but oh my god, by the end of the day I had no voice left. At all. It's that thing, your retail voice takes more out of you, because it's like, hi, welcome to the art shop, how can I help you today? And oh, that takes it out of me. I don't hate doing retail voice. I genuinely think it makes me feel better about being at work and more excited about talking to people. Like that whole you fake excitement until it actually works. It totally works on me. But after a whole day of it, my voice was like... And I can tell now that I was talking all yesterday from how my voice is croaky. There we go. So these fingers obviously need a bit more attention in terms of the actual forms, but I'm just figuring out where everything is. So this is almost like sketching again, but with blobs of colour. Fine. This is my main one that comes down. And here. Yep. Just changing shapes ever so slightly. Lots of little changes. Actually liking painting to this chill hop music with sunshine coming through the windows, because a lot of it is sort of daytime drive music. I don't know, it works. Normally it's nighttime chill vibes, but today it's daytime drive. I feel like I just added a whole lot of bulk to the hand, but no, it's still like a whole finger in from where it started, so... It's big, especially it looks big on the screen because of the camera being on an angle, but I think that's right. Maybe? Or measuring. Still looks like... It's okay. I think it's okay. I think it's just the fact that there's meant to be more hair here. This part of the head looks small when in fact it's got a lot more shape. And all those clouds can come in here a bit as well. Once those clouds come in, it'll make sense, I think. I think that's better. Let's fill in that with dark. Yeah, that's gonna make more sense. Okay. Sorry, I know this part looks a bit weird, but it will make sense, I promise. Gone straight into painting cloudscapes, which I didn't intend to do, but I think figuring this out will make the hand make more sense, and then I'll feel better about the hand. I find that's a thing a lot of the time, that if one part of your painting doesn't make sense, sometimes it's because another part of your painting isn't there to balance it out. And that's where I find it hard to just start in one spot and keep moving. I find it a lot easier to bounce around. It does depend on the painting though. A lot of my oil topper ones I start in one spot and move around, but that's because I leave the background plain. And so it's that sort of less is more approach where you start with less and then you stop the second it looks balanced. I'm gonna zoom the camera out so you guys can see a bit better. So it's definitely meant to be like a band coming around her arm of cloud, and then it's just how it's going to progress down. I sort of didn't want to paint a whole lot of skin here, but I think I will have to paint more make it make sense. I'm using quite a dry brush at the moment, so it stays quite fluffy. Scumbling in is when you just sort of smush the brush back and forth. I'm not leaving specific brush strokes yet. More specifics will come. I tend to put more specifics in Cloudscapes on the highlights because that helps them come forward. Is a normal sort of painting trope. That's why you find some painters really like doing like rough texture foreheads and things like that, because that's where the light is on a portrait. I'm personally not a fan of like leaving chunky texture for no reason. If it's someone with textured skin, then like heavily textured skin like an older person or something, it seems to make sense, but it looks weird on like otherwise super smooth fair featured, not fair featured, super smooth like young people. It looks weird to have a super chunky forehead, but that's just a personal choice of mine. I know it's a well-known painting technique to catch the light of the room on the position of the painting where you want the light to be the brightest. That's often why highlights in eyes and that sort of thing is a chunky dot of paint as well, so it catches the light of the room and looks brighter by proxy. Okay. Oh, the other good news I got this week is that my paintings that went to Adelaide for the Kennedy Art Prize have arrived safe and sound, which is lovely. Oh, Vicky! Hello! You do not have a super chunky forehead. You have a forehead of expression. Completely different thing. How are you? How was your day? Are you at work today? So yes, very, very glad that those paintings made it to Adelaide okay. That was a bit stressful, but they called me and confirmed, and that made me feel a lot better, so yay! Now it's just the waiting game. Or if we get bored, we can play Hungry Hungry Hippos. And some quotes. Yeah, I'm young. Yeah, see already that hand is not looking as big as it was before because now this part of her body has more form. Exactly what I needed to see to stop feeling like the hand was too big. Getting very dark and dramatic and oh, I'm painting where you guys can't see again. I'm sorry. I do that, don't I? I start focusing on an area. Nope. Doing this bottom corner. Excuse my pajama pants, my very cute flowery pajama pants. I wanted to be comfortable today. It's okay, Vicky. Are you home or at work? Yay, painting, indeed. Are you painting today or are you sewing? You're probably sewing. I liked your turban thingy. Say it vaguely. You're at work! Yay! How was work? Now that you're finally in level 3 again in New Zealand. Sewing. Sounds more intense when you use that many G's. Candy like hats again today. Just stick real candy to them, it'll be fine. Go get some anacondas from the shop, because they're big. It'll be fine. Aw, lonely. Well, you've got us. I'm here for ages, so... Ha! I'll use all your data. Because yes, I have only one engagement this afternoon, which is to go for a walk with the Dipster and with the Jess, which shall be lovely. We will go for a constitutional, and Jess gets to hug Dipper, who's all naked now after her haircut. You got some Coke cans from your favourite small cafe. Yay! Caffeine helps everyone work. We are caffeine fans in this chat. You will meet your niece. You will meet her and she will be insane and love you instantly, and then you will be like, oh my god, she's so much bigger than I thought. And then I will be like, Dipper, stop jumping. And she won't. She won't stop jumping. We're trying to learn not jumping at the moment. We're learning down, so she's quicker to stop jumping, but it only works on people she knows. It doesn't work as well on strangers because she's so excited to meet strangers. My pup is not shy with that kind of stuff. She's shy with stuff like hairdryers, or things that make noise. But people, fuck no. Any people. Love all the people. Which is not exactly great, but you know, fine. Better than her being scared of new people, I guess. See? That's exactly what she will do. Yes, thank you, Jess, for the confirmation there. She is a crazy puppy, but I love her, even though she's naked now. Which is my fault. But she's much more comfortable on walks. She's still panting a lot, but we got a little drink bottle I can take on walks that has like a scoop on the front, that it puts the water in the scoop and then she can drink from the scoop. So she has used that successfully now a couple of times, and I am very happy for it, because when I first unboxed it, she was like, that thing is a demon, and I refused to go near it. For no reason! I unboxed a drink bottle and she thought it was like awful, and I don't understand how she makes her decisions. Really don't. I'm liking this cloud form. When we get all the cloud forms working, it's going to look so different. Yes, she's definitely getting better with the bottle, which is good. I definitely find if I don't bring out the bottle until she's quite tired, like when I've let her do some free running and stuff, that makes a huge difference, because then she sort of overcomes her apprehension by going, oh yes, I want water, definitely, yes, gimme. Yeah. The other thing is not using it's got a little lock function, so water won't come out when you don't want it to, and if you do that near Dipper, she hears the clunk and is like, fuck no. So as long as you like do the clunk away from her, it's fine. God, my puppy is such a prima donna. When I talk out loud about this stuff, I'm just like, oh my god, she's such a fusspot. Honey, hello. I appreciate lurks anytime. Hope work is okay today. How are you, darling? Yeah, so she's definitely much more of a fan of the bottle now. But I wait until she's pretty tired and less distracted. Which makes a world of difference, which is good. Yuki, every time you open a Coke can, right? And it's like a noise that you hear all the time. Opening a Coke can is not a weird thing, and they're like, ah, a noise! The devil! Oh. Prima donna animal. Oh, fussy. Yuki is the cutest cat. Okay, people... Does the Gridler have photos of Yuki on Instagram? You're stuck there for the life of the cat. Oh, honey. Did I do a command for Vicky? I think I did. Did I? She has trained you to be the perfect lab. I thought I did. Look at me being a professional streamer who can't remember her own commands. Ever. I will fix that part. Check commands. Thought I did. You need to take more photos of Yuki. Yes, post one in your stories. Custom commands. Oh, it's Vic, not Vicky. I'm at Twitch. Okay. Go hunt down the cat so we can all adore her. That sounds perfect. Although actually you're at work so you can't hunt her down right now. But you have fun sewing. There you go everyone. That's her Instagram. And you can check out stories later for pictures of Yuki, who is adorable. The chat command worked. Professional streamer. Very clunky streamer. But you know, I can paint a cloud, so everyone has their strengths. Like in this cloud, it's got good personality. Looks nothing like the reference, but that often happens with my clouds. I just sort of go with where the brush tells me. Vicky, look, the command worked. It worked. I did a streamer thing. I still haven't figured out alerts, guys. It will happen one day. If I can figure it out by Oiltober, I'll be super happy, but I've got to like sit down and actually watch some YouTube tutorials and get it going. That's going to be my goal after these two paintings that I'm working on at the moment. Ah, I can show you how I'm going with the other one, Vicky, while you're here, because you're my model. So I changed the background again, because I am me. Don't touch the wet paint. Okay. So, the background is a bit moodier, and I got rid of the silver circles a bit more. And I think my only problem is that one of the eyes is too small, the one on the right. So, if I fix that, I think I'm going to be done. I'm much happier with it, with the background all calm. It's the third background we've done on this one. But yeah, I'm much happier with how she's going. So yay! And she fits in the same size frame as this one, which is going to be good, so they'll fit on the wall. And she can just sit down there at the moment and watch me. Thank you! Thank you, Vicky! Jess, did you just look at a picture of Yuki? Because yes, I agree. Oh, my tummy just gurgled. What am I having for lunch today, guys? Ladies and gents and people of all peoples. What am I having for lunch? Serious discussion topic. Pho? There's not a lot of pho around me, unfortunately. I've got a couple of deficiencies in my 5k. One of them is boost juice, because Nox is closed for some reason, and rude. Pho and Thai are probably the other two deficiencies. I would love a bagel. Oh my god, I found 2 more bagel places in Brunswick and Footscray that I'm like, the second lockdown's over, I want to go get bagels. Because they just look like amazing open bagels and fresh bagels, and I'm just like, why do all these bagel places keep opening up so far away from me? They're so far away. So I've just saved all these Instagram photos of tasty looking bagels for like future plans. Jess, we should go get bagels one day. After lockdown. Yes, Jess and Nick. Listen, Jack, last time we did cheese toasties, this time we can do bagel hunting. They might have a breakfast bagel. It's like a breakfast burrito, but a bagel. Pretty sure they would. I need to send you links. I'll send you links. Remind me after stream. But they look really tasty. You had baba and me yesterday for lunch. Nice. I think we have some Thai, Vicky, but I tried at least one of them and it was awful. So, you know, it's North Ringwood Thai. Which they changed the menus at North Ringwood Thai. Like, they've still got the same stuff. They just look different and it weirds me out. Oh, I like this cloud. I like it a lot. Yes to bagel adventures. Yay! I'm excited for future bagels. That's the sucky thing, like with Jack having time off at the moment, like normally he'd go get adventurous lunch and stuff when I'm working, when he's got time off, because then he gets to have an adventure. But he can't do that because it's lockdown. I don't know what he's going to do with his time. Hopefully a project or something. I know he was working on a D&D something the other night. I don't know what. Sarah, are you still here? I want to ask you questions about D&D stuff. He will tell you what to get him for his birthday. Oh, well, there you go. All you need to do is ask. And then go through. No, weren't you going to get, oh, he's not watching. Weren't you going to get volumes of Haikyuu for him? He's got up to number 5. So if you get from 5 onwards, like, he'd love that. I think he's getting to the point where he's going to want them all eventually, and there's like 20 something of them. Oh, something Critical Role he'd love as well. He does love Critical Role. Hello, honey. Jump up here. You're having a stretch. You gonna jump up here? Come here. Come here. Dipper. Dipper. Where'd you go? I literally moved the camera and she went out the door. Why? Oh. Rude. Rude dog. What you doing? Hey, you're back! Hey. Hey, honey. Aw, having a good stretch. You've been sitting in the sun, you're all warm. You're all warm. Good girl. Yeah. Yeah. You guys can't see her, can you? No. Why did I move the camera back? I should have left it over there. I move it, you're gonna go. You're going anyway. I'm sorry, guys. I will. If anyone hasn't looked, look at. Have I done a command for Dipper? I should do a command for Dipper. Haven't. Add new command. Dipper. Oh wait, I haven't actually posted a picture of her on Instagram since her haircut. Okay, I'll do that later. She does look like a distinguished lady now, because now she actually is dog-shaped rather than Muppet-shaped now that she's had a haircut. Which is the weirdest thing. So yeah, because I shaved it, got her shaved down, like we left the mustache and eyebrows and stuff. Now she actually looks Airedale dog-shaped rather than like just a puffball. I'll do the command anyway so you can see the before picture. Where's the thingy? Instagram. Oh wait. That one. spell, Liz. And... oh, and then I go here. Okay, where are you guys? There you are. Yipsy doo. Oh, go away. Okay. Ugh. There we go. So that's Dipper's Instagram, my puppy. And it has the pictures of how she was a couple of days ago before her haircut, but I haven't put up a picture of after her haircut yet. A little worried my breeder isn't gonna like the haircut because I didn't get it done. Like, my breeder was like, buy a pair of clippers and I'll teach you over Zoom how to cut her hair, and I'm just too nervous to do that yet. I would prefer to learn in person, but we cannot learn that sort of stuff during lockdown, and I was a bit of a chicken, so that's why I got her groomed by a groomer. And it's fair enough, my breeder was like, I will literally give you instruction on how to do it, and I don't want to disappoint her, but at the same time it just wasn't feasible currently for me to learn how to clip her. Oh, hello Kathy, how are you? Welcome to the art studio. This is where I paint all the painty things. I'm using all those nice teal colours I used on your mannequin today. I was just talking, Dipper got a haircut and now she looks like a proper dog rather than just a muppet. The subject of the day. Although she's not even here at the moment. She's decided to go sit in the sun and bask. As you do as a pup, as Gus does too. Little bask. The main thing at the moment is just making this look like one cohesive bank of cloud, and then I might do a second section coming out from underneath that's darker. So they're sort of separate shapes. Gus is getting a wash today for the first time of the year. Yeah, no, 28 degrees, he'll love that. Just watch he doesn't go jump in the dam like straight after, because that would be annoying. Go from smelling lovely to smelling like damn. Kathy, you haven't received any mail from me, have you? I sent you a letter. 2 more hats done! Good work, Vicky! Hat high five! Yeah! Fix a tail and crim some tiaras. Those tiaras just need so much crin. You give them a good crinning. Because I know what these words mean. Totally. Oh, that's good. Okay. Okay, so he won't go jump in the dam. Well, that means the bath will be worth it. Then he'll smell good. Haven't received anything yet. Okay, well, there's a letter coming in the mail. From Jack and I. And Dipper. Because we decided it's lockdown, we will send everyone a letter. Well, not everyone. We will send some people a letter. Please, no one get offended if you don't get a letter. Because I can only afford so many stamps when saving up for a camera. Awesome, thank you. I would have thought everyone would have got them by like this weekend. Because I sent them on Monday, but who knows. I didn't know if I wanted to join this cloud, but now that I have, I really like it, so I'm gonna leave that. And she got a little peekaboo shoulder coming through the hole. Yeah. Vicky, I have a savings goal here on stream. I have my little Ko-fi account where people can support me if they would like to, and at the moment, rather than buying caffeine with it, I am saving up for a digital SLR camera. So all of this will be in high res and people can actually see the texture of the paint and I can control the lighting better. As opposed to, at the moment we're using a webcam, which isn't too bad, but digital SLR will just give me a lot more control over everything, and that means at night it's less likely to be blown out and things like that. So yeah, this is our long-term savings goal. All of the proceeds of any paintings I sell at the moment are going towards the camera, and I think we're about at 40% of the goal, I think. Let me just check. Hold on, I'll use the command. I'm such a noob with this stuff, oh my god. Dun, 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 dun. So if I click that and go to site, it should say in the thing, 46% of goal! We are at 46% of goal! Which is awesome! You guys are amazing! So that's super exciting. Yeah! Up to you. I don't know how much it is yet though, because I haven't posted it to you yet, so wait. I reckon wait until I figure it out. But Kofi does charge a small fee and you have my bank details, so it might be better to do bank details if you've got Australian money. But we'll figure that out later. We will figure that out later. I lost what screen? There's my screen. But I don't know. Yeah, because that's what, if you just send me a transfer from Australian money, then there's no fees. Like, the Kofi fees are very reasonable. They're quite small, but it's still just more than if you actually have my bank details. And besides, the pencils is like a whole different thing. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I have to send them first. Maybe I'll do that this afternoon. Australia Post is doing this weird thing where they're like not doing parcels for the next 4 days from retail customers, and I don't know if retail customers is explicitly like stores like my work, or if it's like just people going into post offices as well. I couldn't really figure it out, so if I go to the post office they can tell me. And maybe it doesn't count for international, I don't know. What? I'll send you another box. Because the other one I sent to you is still like no tracking, I think, which is driving me insane. Let me check my tracking. Yeah, it hasn't been scanned since Tuesday, so I am aggravated. I am aggravated. Yay! Friends messaging that they're getting vaccinated, that makes me happy. That makes me happy. I'm all vaccinated now. No mail, but that's unusual out here. That's fair. That's fair. Well, again, it's probably going to take a couple more days than usual because Australia Post is inundated, apparently. But they did say 2 or 3 days on the website, so I don't know. You have 2 weeks backlog of mail. Yeah, because they didn't bloody deliver it for ages. I do not envy the people working at the post office in New Zealand. Oh, hi Thomas! How are you? Howdy, howdy. Not for e-commerce retailers. Okay, so that means I should still be able to go to the post office then, hopefully. Because I'm not an e-commerce retailer. Because that's the thing, like my work has a like business account with Australia Post, but they don't get it picked up, they drop it off. So I don't know if that counts or not, but I told them if they don't deliver any for 4 days, I want a photo of the van because it will be overflowing. And like most of the art packages are like only this big. They're small because it's like brushes and pens and things like that. Like there's a lot of big ones too, but like the majority are small. And if the van is full of just ones that big, it's gonna look insane. Oh, no recycling bin pickups. Oh, Vicky. Heck. Oh, we would suffer. Oh, Kristen, thank you for donating to my Ko-fi. Thank you so much. That's going straight in the camera account. Thank you so much. Shout out to Kristen. Amazing. Yay. I'm painting. Yes. I'm having too much fun chatting to you all. Which I do admit does happen quite often here, but that's because you're all so lovely to hang out with. Yeah, New Zealand didn't do mail, Jess. It was insane. For like the whole level 4 thing. No mail, no leaving the house for pretty much anything. Wasn't it, Vicky? Like you weren't allowed to exercise outside, were you? You're afraid to look at your apartment buildings recycling. Yeah, that's fair. In apartment buildings, it can be like all or nothing. I remember going to my sister-in-law's like place, and some of the bins were just overflowing with stuff, and then there'd be like 5 that were empty, and it'd be like, what the hell? Because like in the apartment, you can just put them in any bin. It makes no sense. Recycling is human sorted, not an essential service, so they were stood down for the 2 weeks. Oh, that sucks. Level 4 is literally only grocery stores, pharmacies, and petrol stations. And no exercising outside. Oh, you were allowed 2 hours of exercise. Oh, that's good. Oh, the tips closed there too. Why are they not accepting green waste? It's not even like a no burn season. That's weird. You would think the tip down there would be still accepting green waste because they can burn it off at the moment. Because it's like spring. That's weird. You were allowed to go for walks, etc., but you had to stay within your... Yeah. Well, that's what we're sort of doing at the moment, is that we've got to stay within our 5k, but like... I only take the dog out for about an hour a day anyway, because she's still a puppy, so we don't want to overdo it. I think only glass recycling stopped? Well, yeah, if it's hand sorted, that makes sense. No worries, Kathy. Lovely to see you. Thank you for joining. You have good luck and wear sunscreen. It's warm. The tip is still human moved and such. Fair enough. What am I doing with this section down here? Ooh. Indecisive, indecisive. You know what we're going to do when we're indecisive? We're going to leave that alone and move up here. I'm going to move the camera. Oh, your cardboard bin wasn't picked up either? That's the majority of our recycling all the time. It's bloody cardboard. Even though Dipper is quite happy to destroy cardboard boxes for us, because that's a very fun dog activity. We end up with so much bloody cardboard. And like the other day at the butcher, they gave me a box to bring everything home, and now I've got this giant box, and I'm just like, can I just take it back to the butcher and put it in their bin? It's like the butcher's 3 doors down from me. I'm very tempted to. Yay! Go Mealy! Quest complete! +1 caffeine! You achieved the achieve. Good work. So far we have made clouds while you were gone. Thank you! I'm really happy with this cloud coming over our arm. That's sort of doing exactly what I wanted. We're ignoring the cloud section down here, which I don't know what to do with, and we're progressing up here to cover up the old fingers. Sounds like a weird name for a drink or something. The old fingers. Weird. Bring in some sky break here where it's all like light cream colored, creamy greeny colored. Yeah. I keep playing with this cloud that I really like, because I never don't stop. Pretty. Love a good cloud. Clouds, Thomas, are definitely my, like, relaxation painting because I can be more imaginative with the forms and colours. And that's what, with this painting, I sort of wanted to experiment with the clouds, like, engulfing the figure a bit, so that's why I wanted to have it going around one arm, and then up here I want it to go around this part of her arm as well, so sort of like the clouds are holding her a bit. So we shall see how that comes together. New computer chair, Jess! Oh, that's fancy. That's fancy. Is he gonna have to put it together? Oh, Amelia, you're in your last 24 hours of this assessment. You can do the thing! Yeah! I believe in you. 24 hours, you can do all the things. All the Amelia love. I can do the thing. I'm remembering to do commands today. That is my streamer achievement. it probably will have to be put together yet. Well, there's an activity for the day. What sort of chair did you end up getting? Is that one of the fancy racer gamer chairs, or is it like a fancy design pretty chair? Or is it a throne? Because, you know, you like to paint in a winged back armchair like me. Sorry, work, not paint in an armchair, but you could paint in a winged back armchair. I actually looked for a computer chair that was a winged back armchair, because that would ultimately be my ultimate chair, but does not really exist, which is sad. So I have a computer chair for when I need lumbar support, which really I should be sitting in now because my back's hurting, but I like this chair. If we have a break soon, I might switch chairs. Same as Yuke's chair, but the smaller size. Cute! Same colour? Or did you go for a different colour? Custom make future present? What, a wingback armchair that's also a computer chair? Vicky, that would be very hard to ship from Wellington to here. Don't remember. Oh, okay. Well, that'll be a surprise when you get it, whatever colour it is. Cute! Chair surprise! Oh, to your surprise she got black. Well, that's just because she's cool and sexy, obviously. Also, black does sort of work for office stuff. That's an executive chair. She's gone for executive power chair. Like how you wear like a power suit and you're all like, I am executive today. She can make executive decisions in her executive power chair. Whilst wearing pajama pants. Yeah. If anyone has any questions about painting, just let me know. Otherwise I'm just gonna ramble like we like to do here. I think that's the thing, like before I'm streaming I'm like, oh, I could talk about all these painty things and this and that, and then we get in here and I'm like, I'm happy to talk about whatever. What's happening with people. Executive chairs, all the good stuff. Coffee, who needs caffeinating? I just enjoy hanging out with people while I paint, it's lovely. Yep. Oh, okay. That's pretty nice. There, and then it just sort of dissipates into very subtle changes up here. Now I've got to resolve here where it goes into dark again. I have no idea how you two are going to coordinate that. Stealing my chair, which I'm currently sitting on, getting it reupholstered and attaching a desk wheelbase to it. No idea. But if you can pull it off, all power to you. I questioned Jack about that and he was like, no, let the yellow chair die. Like, but I don't wanna. I like the yellow chair, even though it's got no cushioning left in the bum. Oh, how did I end up with so many friends and sisters who love conspiring? You guys are amazing. Ridiculous, but amazing. That's true, Thomas. That's very true. Sorry, Thomas, do you prefer Tom or Thomas? My apologies. I know everyone's YouTube names are a lot harder to change than Twitch names, so I prefer to ask. Oh, Vicky, you messaged me. I'm not rude. I will respond to that later. But yes, my main answer would be Haikyuu. He doesn't have minis. Sorry. Either. Okay, no worries. No worries. No, I'm definitely a Liz person over Elizabeth, so I tend to ask people what nickname they prefer, if they prefer a nickname, because Elizabeth is the longest name ever. And half the time, yeah, some people are more into spelling Elizabeth with an S nowadays rather than a Z, but at least when you say Liz, most people get it. Although some people over the phone think my name is Lisa, and I'm like, no, Liz, thank you. Or Elise, I get sometimes. I think I just mumble. Problematic. Cool. Alright, stop playing with the clouds I like, make more clouds up there. Okay, that's the plan. That's the plan. I need my brush. Right, now I want it to be quite dark up here, so let me find my reference again, which I've lost. There it is. Once I get the sky darker up here, I think the hand will make sense as well, because the dark is meant to touch the hand. And this little wrist going. I mentioned when I started this piece, this is actually on a primed pastel board by Ampersand, which normally I prefer the gesso boards, but we didn't have a gesso board at work in the right size, so I could not buy it. So yeah, this texture is a little grippier than the gesso board, and so it's making it harder for me to smudge with my finger when I normally would. I've just got to remember that with things like here where I've painted too close to the wrist. To be more careful, because normally I'd just smush it away. But this board is resistant to smushing, which is less than ideal. Brush. And actually, I'm going to switch to the angle brush for this bit, because I'm trying to get a straight line next to the wrist. Doing that with a big fluffy filbert is counterintuitive and not helpful. Most of that just works perfectly. See what happens when you use the right tools, Liz? Do that. Instead of being lazy and just using whatever tools in your hand. We're here for me to tell myself off. This is what happens all the time. And that's a lovely straight line. Which harsh edges like that, a lot of the time I avoid in paintings, but I find them quite good when you want like a point of interest. And here we definitely want the eye to sort of come up here and go down. So having that straight line leads the eye, which is quite good. So that is why I will leave it very sharp, as opposed to softening it like I do with most lines of the body. Bring it in more than what I actually want it to go, because then I'll bring the light back into it. So it's sort of like we've got two big cloud formations coming together on either side, and this is going to be a big dark V at the top. With the sky behind. Yeah, we need a lot more dark in this excess skin. In a weird way, this painting session is like the hardest but the most rewarding, this sort of middle section of the painting, because it's not that fun bit at the start where you're just splashing around and establishing shapes. It's the part where you're making decisions. And that's what, like, making all these decisions is really taking you most of the way to the final painting. And then the final painting session is just adding details and, like, strengthening colours, because all your decisions have already been made. You're just sort of fiddling and finalising. And this is the stage I got stuck on the other painting of Vicky, because I didn't like my decisions. And if you get stuck in the decision making, then you've got to make different decisions, and sort of that's where you need the painting to face the wall for a week so you don't think about it and then look at it with fresh eyes, or that's when you need to do Photoshop mock-ups or sketches of different decisions and figure out where you want to go with the painting. And that can be the hardest part, is when your original decisions don't work out, trying to figure out the next road. And that's when I think a lot of paintings get abandoned. When people abandon paintings is where their decisions, like, most paintings start off as like a guess. They're a guess of, think this will look good, I think this will be something that I will like, this is something I will paint. And when you go from guesses to seeing it, you don't always like the results. Obviously, the more experienced a painter you are, the more your guesses get more accurate. And that sort of thing, and not just guesses of like guessing the correct color and the correct mix to get what you want, or the correct composition, but like overall, thematically, guessing what you want to paint and what you want to pursue and what you want to put the hours into. That all gets a lot more accurate the more and more you paint, the more hours you put into it. But it doesn't mean you sometimes won't get the guess wrong, or it won't come out exactly how you thought it will. But clouds are fun. You guys are too zoomed in again. Zoom you out. Out. Oh, too far. Yeah. You're putting all this dark up here. Now the hair doesn't feel like it's the only dark thing in the painting, because it was like sticking out like a sore thumb before. Oh, my arm's feeling it when I do big areas up high like this. Oh, it's almost 11. Okay, I will switch chairs a little. I'll use the proper chair that gives my back proper support. Goes up and down so I can make it go up, other than me reaching. Arm workout. New with the crunches. When do you get to gym? Do you get to gym at your next level? Have you tried any online gymmy stuff, Vicky? No worries, Tom. Good luck at the briefing. I hope it is brief. Nah. Level 2. Okay, so it's the next level you get to do that. I'm just hoping it doesn't take too long to get there. I mean, it probably depends on Auckland, huh? Thank you! And thank you for joining us. It's been lovely to have you here, giving us the New Zealand insights. Level 3 is just level 4 with takeaways, yeah. That's what even our news reported. Look at all these people lining up at McDonald's in New Zealand. That's what they're all doing. Aww. I hope it's very brief then. I'm sorry. Are you kind of working? You're working your right to watch streaming. Your body knows when you enter a gym it's workout time and home time is relax time. Yeah, that's probably fair. You have a backyard? Backyard time could be workout time. Honestly, if we had no takeaways, Jack would live on 2-minute noodles and hate me for it. Because I am not a very good cook. Sally would definitely die, oh my god. Mostly for the coffee. I think she'd survive with the food stuff, but the coffee she would hate not being able to access coffee. I think Melbourne would die if we weren't allowed to get takeaway coffee. In most stages of lockdown, that's when you see the most people, is people getting their takeaway coffees. That's the problem they're having at the moment, is everyone's going to like parks and playgrounds and sitting around with a friend, drinking their coffee, and you're like, guys, that's not exercising outdoors. That is a gathering. Go for a walk and then you're actually exercising. That's fine. But sitting around having a coffee with a mate is not the same thing. Playgrounds are opening again from midnight tonight, but parks and that are still open because that's where everyone exercises, everyone walks around. It's just the equipment that was closed. Yours is still closed in level 3, yeah. But you're allowed to like walk around parks and streets and stuff for exercise. That's sort of more what people are doing at the moment. Like, I take Dipper to sports ovals and things like that to run around. Oh, I'm liking the dark sky on this so much more. I want to add more dark everywhere. It's just so much more balanced now, having all that dark, which is lovely. You can walk around but social distance from everyone and wear a mask. Yeah, yeah. We are meant to do that. Some people social distance better than others. But that's fine. To fix that wrist, but I'll fix it with the other colours. I think my wrist in general is too high. That's better. God, sometimes it's the littlest things, but that's what you need to fiddle with. Because now it's on a dark background, it looked too bright, and that showed me that it was too high. That's much better. Yay! I'm sorry if it makes a clackety noise. Can you guys hear that? That's just my easel, because he's gradually dying. I'm very rough on my easels. My own detriment. Playgrounds are open tomorrow. Yeah, only one parent's allowed to go per kid max, and no eating or drinking, as opposed to sitting around with coffees while your kids are playing. Which is what people were doing previously before they closed the playgrounds. I think they've got to scan in with their QR code at the playground too now, which I think is a good idea. I think it is per family max, which we were talking about at work yesterday. And it's like, does each parent take one child to the playground separately? So that way they can supervise the kids easily? Or does one parent take all the kids by themselves and try to supervise all of them at the same time? That's the hecticness. But yeah. It's been a time, yeah. It's a time. And it really, like, that's when the disparity of, like, people who have backyards and playgrounds at home and stuff versus the kids who don't. Obviously, kids who live in apartments and things like that. That's where that comes really to a fore, because you're like, some kids have nowhere to play at home. Or, like, very minimal space to play at home. And it is very unfair to take away their only outside access. Versus other kids who it's exactly the same as normal and who the fuck cares. Because definitely backyards are shrinking in Melbourne and Australia in general because of our housing issues. Pretty. Like, backyards is something we started looking at in housing as an important thing just because we've got Dipper, much less. Like, we don't have kids at the moment or anything, but Dipper needs outside access. And trying to find a house with adequate enough for that even is hard. That's affordable. That's why we're still renting. And probably will for a while. Barely anyone have backyards in New Zealand, yeah. But that's because you guys live on basically cliffs. Your houses are very angular, and the hills are real, as I discovered when I visited you. Both times. Are there flatter areas of Wellington? Of, like, New Zealand in general that are, like... I don't know. I haven't travelled much in New Zealand, this is my problem. I've literally been to Auckland and Wellington and that's it. So I do not have a good perspective of standard New Zealand housing. Ah. Sorry, there was a chunk of dark paint in my light section. Okay, I'm gonna take a little break, go to the bathroom, and switch chairs. So, this is the time. Everyone needs to get up and have a stretch, if they need a stretch. Get up and get some water, if you need some water. Refill your caffeine, if you need caffeine. And we'll all come back in 5 minutes. Break. Okay. I'll be right back. Thank you. Sorry, I can curse it. I was just telling Jess how comfy is the hammock though when you need to pee. Because that can be problematic when you're in something that's incredibly comfy and you need to pee. But yes, I'm back, and now we're going to work our way through refining this edge, and then we'll work on these slots, because I want to leave this bit very plain, I think, because that, again, leaves the eye in the detailed part of the painting, which is what we want. Basically, I don't want to give you much reason to look over there. I'll give you lots of reason to look around here. Yeah! I try and remember to turn the mic off when I go on a break, so if I talk to the dog or things like that, it's not you guys hear me going, "Oh, Dipper, hello, how are you?" Because yes, she got up from her doona where she was having a snooze to have a cuddle, and then she went right back to the doona. Yes, the hammock is also hard to get out of when motivation is high, just logistically. It's comfy though. You're getting towards the weather where you can have, like, hammock days with Quincy and Sam. Group hammock chat. Do you guys all have time off now that your schedule's changed at the same time, or is that gonna stuff up your Fridays or Saturdays? Hope not. You did hammock in winter, but the summer hammock is a different hammock. I like summer hammock. It's the I'm enjoying the outdoors, but I'm in the shade and not getting, you know, completely sunburnt, and therefore it is optimum fun. Oh, you have no overlap now? Wah, that's sad. Wah. Just have to become very good at leaving love notes. Although you guys are, no, Wincy in particular is very good at leaving love notes, so I should buy you some stickers so you have more stickers to leave each other. You've literally rocked yourself to being sleepy. That's okay, if you go to sleep, then when you wake up it'll look like I've painted really fast. Yeah? Like when you fall asleep in the car and then you teleport places. Granted, when someone else is driving. When you fall asleep in the car as a passenger and someone else is driving and then you teleport places. I love doing that. Whole journey took 5 minutes. We were cozy for all of it and it was great. I'm just doing a cloud break here, because I want these clouds up here to be darker. Same as I want to sort of leave this cloud break up to under the arm. Just blazing everything a bit darker. Not killing the detail that's already there, but like encouraging it all to a darker value. You miss teleporting home after a big dinner. How much of a mood is that? Admittedly, part of us not having our holiday now, like, we admitted we were sad not to have the long drive, like the 4-hour drive, because, like, making a playlist on Spotify and having a long drive with someone you love. It's a really nice way to spend a day. And then you have like truck stop and you eat a bit of junk food and then you keep going. Play Spot the Cows. All that kind of stuff. Like, I cannot remember the last time I went on a long drive with someone. Like the start of the year, probably. Last time we went to Sarsfield. And I missed that. Going on long drives is lovely. And like, if I could right now, I would immediately get in the car and drive to Adelaide so I could go to the art show. Because that's like an 8-hour drive. That'd be a fun drive. I've driven to Adelaide before when I did my course, the Robert Neely 5-day art course. That was great. Yeah! Summer vibes drives. Longest I drive now is to my sister's house because I'm her bubble buddy. But it's not the same vibe when you're in the car by yourself. Not a road trip. Just a drive. Yeah. Not able to have like that you time of just jumping in the car and drive. Like you can drive to the grocery store, but again, it's not the same thing. Hopefully we get that back. It's weird because yeah, like I've gone from in the previous lockdowns just missing the big things like seeing my family, seeing my friends, being able to have dinner together, things like that, go to the movies. Now I'm missing like little moods that are less easy to point down because that's what, like going for a drive, it's not the drive necessarily is the thing, it's the being alone in the car or being with people in the car, it's the having some music on, the temperature, the mood, like all of it, it's that experience I'm missing. I'm missing experiences now. Yeah, and that's what when you're driving to work, it's not the same thing either. It's just sort of a trudge. You're doing a trudge, unfortunately. I'm doing a trudge to Richmond on Monday for a medical appointment, and I'm like, even that, I'm like, ugh, can't be bothered. But I can be bothered, but I can't be bothered. Like, if I could stop off in Brunswick for a bagel, it'd be totally worth it, but I'm not allowed to do that, and I won't do that, because I don't want to break rules. Oh, just miss things. They will come back, though. I have faith that we will reach a point where most stuff is possible. It's just time. Time and patience. And time. Much longer time than any of us thought, I think. Warm day driving down to Sorrento. Yes, windows down, music on. Yes. Sorrento, Portsea, Rosebud, all of them. Spontaneously decide to drive to Hillsville. Oh, drinking wine in the sun. Yes. Today would be a perfect day for winery visit. I think I'm more the go to Mornington, visit my mother-in-law, walk along the beach. That kind of jazz. Mornington Safety Beach area. If it wasn't a weekday, like she's working because it's a weekday, but that kind of thing. Oh, I'll take Dipper to the beach and walk along the beach with Dipper. Although I really should be painting. This is the other thing. I forget it's a weekday because it's nice weather now. It feels like the weekend. But again, I should be painting. Because this one's for a show, as is the one at Vicky. The show is sort of, it's been delayed, but the catalogue's online, so the second these are finished I can get them up in the catalogue and then do some promotion, which is nice. So I'm hoping to be able to post a bit on Instagram and that next week, because I can post about the art prize, I can reveal the piece that I did that got into the art prize that I haven't revealed yet. So I wanted to work on a video for that, like a YouTube video and a few video clips. Started yet. Just been really tired this week. Early nights to bed. That's okay. Trying to listen to my body. don't know if this cloud is getting too encroaching on the face now. Ugh, hard to tell. Hot springs. Oh, Vicky, it's been so long. That's what Monique wanted to do for her birthday, the 25th of August. And like, we had no hope. Which sucked. Because yeah, she's been pregnant and had babies and stuff. She hasn't been into— Hello? Oh, hello! Are you telling me you're all done napping and you want to go out? Well, guess what? We're not going out till later. We're going out later. Yeah? Can you stick around so I can put you on camera, please? No. She keeps coming in for one pat and then leave. Because she's trying to get me to go for a walk. But we're not walking yet. We're walking later. It's just checking in. I keep— every time I turn the camera, she walks away. It's like she doesn't like me reaching up and turning the camera. So if you guys are happy to just face there for a while, let's see if I can get her to come in. Eh. Alright. Dipper! Come here! Hello! Hello, darling. Good girl. Can you guys see her? There she is! There she is! You're such a good girl! Good girl! Good girl! And you're sick of me now because I haven't got a treat. I should have treats in here all the time, shouldn't I? No, you can't have an Oreo. Good girl. You guys all saw it? Hopefully. I should have made the camera bigger. Yay! Studio assistant! She's so skinny now! Oh, she's such a babe. And that's the thing now, she looks like a proper adult dog now. As opposed to before, she looked like a Muppet on her Instagram. She's so pretty and like graceful looking now for a derpy dog. She has gravitas now. Weird. But we'll get used to it. But it's weird. I found it funny because my husband like reacted to her haircut the same way as me when he first saw her. He was just like, oh, she's so skinny. That's exactly what I said when I first saw her. But she lost all her poof. Again, if you want to compare to the poofy version, the poofy version is on her Instagram, which is that one. But yeah, it's just gonna take some getting used to. But she seriously looked like a baby bear. Like, she was so fluffy. I might zoom you guys in again because I'm starting to work small again. I hope the DSLRs isn't easy to like move around. They've got a webcam proper portal thing for it now where it'll have like online settings that I can use through the computer, so I think it will give me a lot more control. There's sort of 3 cameras I'm looking at, which are all the Canon DSLRs recommended for beginners with DSLRs. So I just need to do a bit more research to figure out which one is perfect for me. Because I think I want to get one with a wide angle lens so I can show you guys more of the studio. Yeah. All happening. I feel like we're making a lot of progress today, guys. Great. Yay, everyone. So I'm trying to say guys less because it's a very gendered word when talking about a group. It's silly. I've got a couple of words like that that are just so ingrained in my vocabulary that I've just decided I don't like it. So another one is the word dumb, which is ableist. I used to say things are dumb all the time and I don't like it. working on trying to say silly instead. That is silly. Much more appropriate. Love doing this sort of wispy bit where you're like, oh, I'm painting outside the frame again. There you go. This little wispy bit where it like joins light to dark, because you just use barely any pressure and it just immediately sort of wisps out. It looks really cool. Yeah. Excited for spring too, because I haven't been taking photos of clouds much lately because it's all been overcast and blare, and we're getting back to good cloud weather where you get the big white fluffy ones, which are my favourite ones, the cumulonimbus ones. That's something I do quite regularly on, well, I normally do quite regularly on my Instagram stories, is just take photos of clouds. And now I have this whole bank and a highlight of cloud reference photos, which I can use for these kind of paintings. In fact, I believe the reference photo I'm using for this was one of my Instagram cloud reference photos. So that's nice. Thinking we might go through till about 12:30 and then up there and have some lunch. I'm starting to feel a little hungry now. I had an up and go for breakfast, but they're never quite as filling as sometimes I just make a little mark and I'm like, that's my favourite little mark, that little bit right there. Into the myself anyway. Look at that little hole there, isn't he cute? I'm leaving that. Little holes. The other thing I notice here is a lot of the time when I'm using something that looks like white, it's never quite perfect white. I always mix in a bit of yellow and it's picking up a bit of blue from the board. Because I mix up perfect white, it's almost like when you look at white wedding dresses, they just look a bit wrong because they're too bright. It just needs to be a bit more harmonious. And I'm not quite sure about this shape, it looks too much like a horn. I'll wisp it out a little bit. Yeah, running through there. That's better. I make it like this chunk looks like it's in front of that chunk because that chunk's being whisked away a bit by wind. Alright, just stretching my neck. Hydration. Delish. Oh, it's getting very fluffy up in this corner. Very fluffy. The thing I'm finding with this medium is I really don't need a lot of it. The medium I'm trying is the solvent-free fluid by Gambling. Sorry, that's really hard to read, isn't it? Solvent-free fluid. Because it doesn't contain any terps, it's got no odor and no fumes. So I thought that would be well worth a try, but it's a very wet medium. It's a slow dryer. And I've noticed, because it is such a wet or fat medium, they call it fat when it's got a high oil content, you really can't use a lot of it at once. And that was my mistake at the start of the painting, is I splashed it around like I would another one or a thin underpainting medium. And because of that, my paint sagged. It tried to run down the board a bit because it was way too high in oil content. And I had to let it dry horizontally for a week before I was able to touch it again. So that was bothersome. But it's doing a lot better on this layer. I'm granted, I'm not using a lot. I'm using straight paint most of the time, and I'm just dipping my brush ever so lightly, like at the tip of the brush, if I need a bit more moisture. And get it on the palette. As opposed to normally I moisten my brush quite often with it. But I think in combination with the rough surface board, the rough surface board gives the oil opportunity to move because it runs between the texture. Bad combo. But it's definitely a nice medium to use after that first layer. If I restrict my solvent medium use to just the first layer, that still restricts my solvent altogether. Which is good for healthy brains. Yes, too much solvent use at a time can lead to a whole bunch of not so great health if you are unsafe with it. And I just noticed I'm not unsafe with my stuff, but I'm not like over the top with it. Like I don't wear a gas mask or anything with solvent unless I'm doing like varnishing. Varnishing I wear. Yeah, because varnish, and it's got a high solvent rate and it's got a high carcinogen, which is not great. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Hold on. Oh, my apologies. That's me. Oh, hello! Yes, I sneezed. Yes, I did. I'm okay though. Okay. I was not summoning you with a sneeze. Careful. Careful. Yeah. Careful. No. Walking straight back out again. I think she prefers it out in the lounge room because we've got a big doona on the floor that's really squishy and she's sitting on that, which is fun. There's no issue with mixing solvent on the same pace? No, not at all. The main thing with solvents is because they're evaporators, like they evaporate quite fast, is that you normally use more solvents on the early layer of the paintings where you want it to dry faster, and then less and less as you get thicker with the paint and thicker with the oil. So because I've started with a very fat oil, I can't now use a solvent-based oil or a thinner medium over the top because it'd do the tomato soup thing where the top would skin over before the underneath dries. So now that I've started with the fat oil, I've got to keep going with the fat oil the whole way through, so each layer has the same drying time. So I will probably still have to leave this for a week to dry as well, which is a pain. And that's why today I've been a lot more selective about which sections I'm working on. So for example, today, if I don't get to the face, I can come tomorrow and paint the face because that hasn't been touched, as opposed to all the clouds and that will need a week to dry. Which, yeah, that's sort of the reason I'm being a lot more strategic in what we're painting. And so far today, all I've done is ear, hair, and a bit of hand. When it comes to the skin, I haven't touched any of the other skin. Which sort of builds in that, yeah, tomorrow I can do more painting on it. Which is good. That's the way a lot of painters work with lots of oil. And then, yeah, when it comes to the varnish, which is solvent-based, I have to leave it to dry for a long period of time. Like, they normally recommend 6 to 12 months for a permanent varnish, but a lot of the time I use a breathing varnish, which is one that is designed to allow the painting to dry through it. And you can use that from when it's hard touch dry. So when you're able to press your fingernail into the surface and it not dent the paint, you can use a breathing varnish from that point, which is quite helpful. Yeah. That's what I do when I have to send things for competitions and art shows and things like that. Occasionally I've had a collector come back and go, oh, can you revarnish the painting for me after 6 to 12 months? And I'm like, yep, I can do that, no problem. But it's personal preference. And that's pretty much what a lot of art restorers do, is they just take off dirty varnish after like 50 years, take off old dirty varnish and put a new varnish on. Most of the time the painting itself doesn't need that much repair unless it's been badly treated. And their job is just to varnish refresh. Does anyone here watch Baumgartner restorations on YouTube? It's so relaxing to watch. I just love seeing him take off dirty varnish and see the proper colours. There's like blues and whites in particular under old Daimar varnishes, so more natural varnishes tend to yellow a lot. Yeah, they get gross, because effectively all the gross stuff like dust and cigarette smoke and anything like that that would possibly go on your painting goes on the varnish instead, and that means that the painting is protected, which we like. And that's why I'm always a fan of a varnish. I think you should varnish your work in some way, even if you don't like glossy, like you can use matte varnishes and things like that, but some sort of protection so that environmental factors aren't going to affect your paint work. If you put your artwork under glass, that's probably the closest equivalent, but if that frame breaks and the glass shatters, the painting gets damaged. I haven't got the varnish to protect it. Okay. I think that little cloud section there is done. Let's move back down. I think we've got to sort out what we're doing over here in the armpit. What am I doing there? I think I want to end the clouds here, and then all this down here is going to be skin. Because if I keep doing cloud, I think that's not enough skin break. And if I taper the clouds off to this side, it definitely looks like the clouds are coming in and over, which is what I want. Yeah, so. Clouds to connect again here. So showing enough of the shoulder that you can continue to see where the form goes, but you're interrupting it, which is fun. Figure out these clouds over here. I'm very happy with these clouds up here. Up in the corner, sorry, where you can't see. And I've still got to do the top left as well. But we're getting there, we're making lots of progress. I'm very happy with the progress. Yeah. Nope, apparently we're reconnected. Peter, what are you doing? What are you doing? What happened to the music? There we go. Everything hiccuped then. How odd. Okay. I'm just gonna put up my curtain quickly. My sunlight isn't coming in directly now, so... Oh, that's better. Boom! Brighter colours. That's much better. Part down here is it's hard to identify what parts are wet paint and what parts aren't, because I refined some of these clouds in the last painting session, which I shouldn't have really done, because it's now confusing. Not the end of the world. Might even go up the sky, over the sky at the top again once this dries, because it's just still not as opaque as I would like. On screen it looks quite opaque, but like it could just definitely be a shade darker up there again. Might glaze it. Because yeah, it's sort of... in the reference photo, it's almost nighttime. It's so dark. And and I know the skin is luminous. Definitely sort of brightly lit by yellow light, but I kind of like that contrast between the dark and... even though it doesn't make sense realistically. I want this whole cloud down here to be not as bright. Being distracting. Oh, hi Jay! How are you? I am doing well. I am awake today. I'm really tired this week, but I'm feeling a bit better today. Having fun with friends while streaming. How are you going? You've been bashing out the drawing lately. Loving all the updates on Instagram. Oh! Do I have a thing? Give me a sec. Do I have a thing? Give me a sec, I'll make a thing. I'm just being a streamer for a moment. Just don't worry about me. As you can see, I'm still very newbie to all this sort of stuff. Ah! I'm in the wrong screen. Where's the screen? That one. What are you doing today, Jay? That wasn't awkward at all. I don't know what you're talking about. Trying to stay productive? You are succeeding, sir. You are definitely succeeding. And if anyone wants to see Jay's cool illustration work, there's a command! Yay! Commands! Yay. I'm very easily entertained. Working from home at the moment. Yay! Well, my apologies for annoying your workday, but also, yay! Annoying your workday! Give Jazz a random hug from me if she's working from home too. But yeah, no, it's nice to do a daytime stream. I haven't actually managed a daytime stream in quite a few weeks because various things have come up, so this has been quite lovely. As opposed to my Thursday evening streams, which will be next week. Are you doing life drawing with Top Secret tonight? Aww, thank you, Jay. I'm glad it's better. Happy to help with my random paintiness that I'm doing today, which is mostly clouds, but they're very fun clouds, so I'm enjoying myself. I have a new green that I'm playing with, Holbein Compose green, and it's very sort of... it's a pastel if a pastel was like neon. Very weird. Oh, it is her birthday! Happy birthday, Sha! Okay, it needs to be a tighter hug now. Like a birthday hug. Yeah. Oh, you're hoping to go tonight? Cool. I was considering it. I need to just see if it's okay with the husband later, because he's on annual leave now. And I don't know what his plans are, other than stay in bed as long as possible, because he's still in bed at the moment. And I knew that would probably be a factor. Top Secret tonight, yay. Yeah, because Ivana's posing, I think, and she's fabulous. She sits very still, which I'm thankful for, because some people don't sit as still. She is one of the good ones. And I did the Mortal Kombat session with her last year, and that was great. That one was a multi-model session, but she was Very, very good. I don't have a command for Ivana, unfortunately, but top secret life drawing, I will put a link in the Discord later if anyone is interested in doing life drawing tonight. It is all Zoom based, but is run by an amazing crew here in Melbourne. Jean-Luc is fabulous, and it is very everyone friendly life drawing. And I think Ivana is posing as the devil herself tonight. Is the theme, which is quite cool. And I haven't done life drawing in ages. And as much as I'm not a huge fan of online life drawing, I found if I do it sometimes, it just keeps my arm going, which is good. After doing clouds today, I probably should do some figurative stuff. Which would be fun. Yes, it's an amazing community, seriously. Like, Top Secret Life Drawing is just the most inclusive, friendly, ridiculously encouraging, beautiful group of people. I love them all. I think that's the thing, because I don't like online life drawing as much as in person. I'm just like, I feel like I'm letting down all my friends in the community because I don't come to as many sessions. But I would love to do it in person, because sometimes I beat myself up if I'm not getting good drawings out of it. I'm just like, what's the point? But it's not the point, it's an exercise, and I should try anyway. It's just hard when you can't see the forms very well, because screens and webcams are only so strong. Blair. How's Jazz doing today? Does she have to work on her birthday? I hope her work friends are spoiling her. All the spoils. I still haven't managed to do an art night with that crew. I should just make a random Facebook event and just see who turns up. Can't do it this weekend because it's Father's Day, but next weekend. Maybe? Just trying to bring in some other colour down here, and I'm bringing in this sort of green, pastel green. And I've just got to bring in enough of it over here that it makes sense. And it's balanced over there. Otherwise it looks like it doesn't make sense. That's why I keep bouncing from the right to the left. Oh, you didn't like last week? Yeah, it is all practice, and that's the thing, like, some weeks it's just... I found sometimes it's like, there's so much costumes, I can't see the forms, or it's so theatrical, it's a bit much, and then other weeks it's like the theatrical and the fun is what makes the drawing great. So it's just sometimes the combination of factors make it difficult, but it is all practice, and going is still always better than not going. In the long run. She's working but being spoiled. Good! Yay! I am glad. Thank you for passing on the hug. I appreciate it a lot. A lot, a lot. Yay. Okay, I think this has brought the green in over here the way I wanted, which is good. Yeah, let's finish sorting out this area, and then I'll chuck in some skin down here so that can dry. And then I've just got this little top corner. Actually, maybe I'll do that top corner first. It's only a little bit, and I keep ignoring it. The other hard part is just keeping myself accountable to all the little bits that I start that I should finish while the paint is dry. Oh, I'm going to zoom in because you don't need to see my head that giant. Oh, wrong way. There you go. That's my reference. I'm leaning my elbow on my knee, that's why I ended up reaching far forward. Keen for any art sessions? Yay! I definitely find even this sort of social, just sitting around chatting to people while doing, is helping me a lot during lockdown. Whether I'm productive or not. Like, we had a giant talk about desserts the other night while I was streaming. But it's the social and the community, and it's just chatting to my friends, which I really appreciate. And I know how busy we all are, and that's the problem, is I'm not like, let's all jump on Zoom and try and just chat, but if we all just hang out and are doing the stuff that we're busy with anyway, that feels a lot more doable all the time than trying to allocate time with everyone when they're free, when they're not doing projects. Like, I've been liking hanging out in Jess's streams, although I have lurked in a couple lately and not said hi just because I haven't been near a keyboard. Or I've been watching something with Jack and had the stream on the other side, so I get to watch the mermaid pins get made. Do I have a prompt for Jess? Do I have a command? I should have a command. No, I don't. Ah! No. Oh, what am I gonna call it? I'm gonna call it... Oh, Jess. Oh, if I called you Illustrator Extraordinaire, what should I call Jess? Yes, phone calls with friends while cleaning is great. I admit I do a lot of housework on Fridays when I have my check-in with Monique, which is awesome. Although sometimes she catches me when I'm in bed, and then I'm just like, I'm gonna sit in bed and talk to you, and I stay cozy. I think the problem with phone calls is, yeah, like sometimes you want to do housework on the things that are very noisy, and then that doesn't work as well. But most of the time it's fine. Like doing the washing is noisy. But here, I just want to refine the edge of where these cloud forms are coming in. That makes a bit more sense. Okay. I'm sorry I keep making commands while we're chatting, but I'm getting there. Joe, hello! How are you, Joe? I'm making commands so then I can shout out all the people. does it do that sometimes? I change screens and it just turns... I think my mic must have an automatic timeout or something. Because it happens at least once a stream that the mic just stops. It's silly. You're tired. It's been a huge month! He packed one house and moved it all to another house! Not to mention cleaning, which is always a thing with packing and is gross. Well done! Welcome to spring. How is new house? Is it big with nice ceilings and giant garage? Oh, you're still not done. Oh no. I'm sorry. I thought you would be almost there. I apologize. I always ask myself, how do we end up with so much stuff? But I'm a stuff hoarder, so it's gonna happen. Hey, Danny! How are you? Ew! Why does the garage have asbestos in it? That's gross. Why don't they tell you these things at auctions? That's no fun. Is it just like drywall asbestos? Yuck. Danny, you'll be proud of me. I'm doing lots of commands today. And I'm being streamer. Neptune. Strange code. That's fair. It's okay. Wrong chat. We all do it. Danny, we're playing with clouds today. I've been painting lots of clouds around this one. I keep changing my mind where I'm painting and I need to remember where I'm zoomed into. Yay. You're on lunch break. How is lunch break? How is work today? Is it being nice to you? Does it need me to come beat it up if it's not? I can be ferocious, maybe. The corporate people. Actually, I can, because I'm an artist, so I can freak him out, and it's completely socially acceptable. Like powder coating on the steel beams holding up the rest of the house for fireproofing! Just, like... what can you do? Spray it all with, like, that, tray liner stuff they use in utes. That's, like, ridiculously hardcore. It's flaking off is exactly when asbestos is dangerous. That is not a good situation. Boo! Those owners owe you money. Like the previous owners. Can you, like, get money out of them to be all like, you sold us a house with an asbestos risk, how dare you? Or not, because it was an auction. I hope you can. Alright. Little clouds, little clouds. More paint. This white paint is still being super goopy on me. I'm definitely buying the tube I used to buy instead. I'm getting sick of it. If anyone wants a tube of white oil paint that's goopy, hit me up. I would be happy to donate. It does! Because this is the new house that Joe bought. It's a whole thing. You bought private sale, but you're pretty sure you can't get anything out of vendors because it was mentioned in the building pro- Ew! That's a butt. That's a butt. Work is okay today. Look, it's the middle of the week. Tomorrow's Friday. You're allowed to have a bit of a bleh in the middle. Do you guys have nice weather in Sydney today? It's all nice and sunny in Melbourne for the first time in like forever. Joe, I apologize that it's a huge butt. That's not the good kind of huge butt. And I just like it. Stupid builder's report. Lovely weather, but very windy. Oh, that's sort of good with kind of like the workday. Good with Hoping today will be okay down here. I don't know. My day is pretty much just paint and then walk the dog. That's my plans, which is kind of nice. Let's stay in one spot for more than 5 seconds. Ugh. Just trying to finish these guys up here, and then I can do the other bit that goes over the arm. And then we'll be pretty close. Brush is starting to get very saturated, that's why I keep trying to wring it off. That's a bit better. Maybe I need a dry rag. I think my rag's oversaturated. A little bit of dark in the middle. Break up in that bit. That's a bit better. There we go. Nudging out the blue here, I will go over that with skin tone, so ignore that. More white over here. Yeah, getting there. Thank you. How was Pumpkin today? Being behaved? Dipper refuses to stay in here because she had a haircut, and I think she's self-conscious in front of the camera. That, or she's way too comfy on the doona out there in the lounge room, which I think is more the case, because normally in the morning she has to stay in her pen. And this morning I've let her out of the pen because I'm in here, and she's decided she will take advantage of that doona as long as she can. Although she keeps coming in here to check in for when walkie time is, which is later. Pumpkin is very cute and good. I am glad to hear it. Yay. What a cutie. Okay, I think I'm happy with that side. Now, let's zoom out again. Awesome. Alright, so I'm just going to quickly put in some rough skin tone here in the under the armpit. so we can see what that's meant to look like. I think I will have to use a different brush because this brush is clogged full of blue. Clogged full of blue and white. Blah, 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 blah. I can words. Saying earlier that at work yesterday I probably spoke to over 100 people on the phone because I was doing like check-in calls for people with online orders and check-in with people who had item requests and all that sort of thing. So today my words aren't working great, so I apologise for the lack of word function good that I seem to be having. Now, I think I need my original reference photo because I've put clouds over the armpit in this one. Now I can see just the figure, so she does have a shadow running there. Okay, let's figure out, just very roughly, where things, yeah. If I have a rough guide, then I should be able to stand back at the end of this and look at sort of how everything's sitting, and it should look balanced. That's our goal. And then it's just a matter of going in and painting skin for a lot of tomorrow. Yeah, I'm hoping tomorrow to get into the face and things like that. Because I sort of started with the lips, but then I abandoned it with the eyes because I was tired. And I didn't want to paint bits that required concentration when tired, which is often the case. I'd rather not ruin it in an attempt to be productive. That's also why I've been switching between this painting and the one of Vicky fairly consistently, is just so that if I'm too tired for one, I've been working on the other. Or if one needed drying, I have the other. And it's a pretty good system. Being able to bounce back and forth. Making a mess, but it'll work. She looks very wide down there. Definitely isn't, but just because it's one wide chunk of skin. Finish getting a block. The shadows placed. I forgot this white area down here has no paint on it at all, so the board is just grabbing onto the paint with that texture. And it's using it all very fast. Which is fine, it's just because I haven't got it all slippery like I did the last time. Paint isn't moving, but I need more yellow ochre. Be right back! No, where are you? Alright. Been good this time. I've left out the paints that I'm using in these two paintings on the bench rather than packing them away, so I don't have to go hunting as badly each time I need more paint. Which is sort of what I should do every time, but sometimes I just put my paints away because they're all everywhere. And then I have to hunt for them. It's a pain in the butt. Blue wants to mix in with my yellows. Don't do that. Don't make green. That's a very loose, very ugly block in. I'm gonna fast forward this a little bit because it's too ugly. This is the song with the creepy laugh in it. I don't like this song. Oh, it's almost over. Okay, fine. I only noticed one creepy laugh so far. Don't get me wrong, I love chill hop music, but every now and then there's something weird in there. That song, because it just has this laugh in it. Really do want it. You. Better remember I'm painting over dark chunks of blue as well, and painting over dark chunks of blue, you've got to give it at least 2 layers to get the opacity back, so can't make the opacity perfect in 1 layer of rough block. We zoom out now, and I sit back a bit. How's that looking? Don't mind it. That's more shadow. Today's model is a model from a stock reference photo website that I use called Art Models or posespace.com.au, and basically it's whenever I can't get models in person to pose for photos, it is my backup. So I've done quite a few paintings from photos, and the main reason I like this website is for every pose they take photos in the round, so they actually have them on a spinning platform with one light source that's normally quite... They do a variety of light sources, but I only select the ones with strong light source. And then they rotate the model sort of 10 degrees and take a photo the whole way around. So you end up with this pack of photos from every angle, and it's really, really helpful because it means that then if I am unsure about something, I can just shift to the next photo and see how the face goes and see how the model sort of is as a complete form rather than just one still photo. So I really, really love their stuff. They're based out of America, but their credit system is quite reasonable, where you can buy 25 photo credits, and I think each photo is a couple of credits or something. I don't know. It works out quite reasonable. And I just keep an eye out for any images that I like. And this one I actually bought ages ago for something else, and then decided to paint a different pose. But I just kept it in my folder for a future date, and then when I started playing with this idea with the Cloudscape coming around the arms, this pose was perfect. And I'm like, huzzah! I will use that one after all. So the model's name is Ginger. But yeah, unfortunately not someone that I know, which I do normally prefer painting people that I know. I just feel like the paintings come out better when I know the person, because I know their personality. And I know them, again, in the round, because I've met them in person. But 'tis the times when sometimes we can't always have what we want. So, let's see, if I try and blend the clouds in at the moment, it's just turning green. So I think I'll just have to leave that area down there more or less how it is. I'll just fix up that shadow. So the shadow comes down here, then it juts in, and then it goes down. So all this is meant to be shadow. It's meant to radiate. Yeah, there is a link to Postspace in the Discord in the Not Safe for Work folder. Simply because I can't share links on Facebook or anything like that, because the thumbnail includes a nude model. And that means that then Facebook yells at me for posting inappropriate content. Rude. Even though it's an art resource. So, if you want to grab a link to these guys, they are in the Discord. This bit here is all reasonably the same dark, but there's this indentation where the boob starts shadowing. That's kind of what I'm trying to show there. There we go. not great, but it's a start, and it gives me the gist of what's happening down in that area. I think my main problem is that I'm trying to cheat by not putting the nipples in, and the nipples are like right at the edge where they'd be covered by the frame anyway. But because I've just smushed it down, it looks wrong, and I've got to imagine the frame is there, and then it would look right. And just... tiny little aggravating things. Because yeah, if I shifted the model down ever so slightly when I did my composition, it wouldn't be a problem. But I wanted this part to be in the middle, this triangle. Little things. Little things, little things. I think I am starting to get hungry for lunch. So I might just do this one last little bit of cloud. Yeah. And then we'll go from there. What's everyone having for lunch today? I'm not very inspired. What do I want to have for lunch? Someone said bagels before, and then I really wanted bagels, but I haven't got anywhere with bagels around me, so that made me sad. I could go get a sandwich from the cafe. It was me who said bagels? I thought you said bagels. Or did you say bagels after I said bagels? I remember reading the word bagels. Ooh, Hatter in the Hair. Their takeaway menu is pretty good. I just hate when it's really hectic, because, like, Hatter in the Hair is beautiful, and it's such a great cafe, and they do so much decorating and all this sort of stuff, but sometimes it feels a bit claustrophobic in there, because there's so much decorating and so many people. I get a bit, ugh! They do a really good, like, bacon and egg sandwich and brioche roll. Yum! I should order some bread from them this week. I really like they have like a garlic and sourdough something loaf. It's delicious. Jess and Nick, how are you going with the donuts? Are they all smoking now? Did they all find a good home? Or are you still eating donuts? It is such an extra place. It's like everything plus everything. Oh, that's right, you did say banh mi. Who said bagels then? Was it me? I swear I read it. I'm a scroller. Vicky said bagel. Okay, Vicky said bagel in capital letters. I apologize, Jess. It was not you. It was Vicky. I take it back. Donuts are all done. I'm glad they all found a good home. Got cinnamon donut Safeway the other day. Right. Cheap as shit donuts is sometimes great. Although fancy donuts have a lot more imagination, that's for sure. I don't like this bit. I think her back needs to come in, actually. I think that's it. This is going quite straight, and I think it needs to be more on like that angle. Ah! Oh, that's better. Okay, cool. Figured it out. I hate that when something's just bothering you, and you're like, why? Yes, that's better. It'll come in even more actually, because this is just after a shoulder blade. But it goes in after a shoulder blade. Ugh, now I'm... Wet paint on wet paint on wet paint. Lovely. It's such a little thing, but that's so much better. In my opinion. From where I'm sitting. What am I doing? And zoom you in again. There. Lots of progress today. I'm very happy with all the clouds now. Yay. Yeah, it's just... And you have to make your decisions, like, quickly. I find it better if I make my decisions before I go. Which is hard if they're then out of stock something when you go, because then you have to make decisions faster again. It's much nicer when you could sit down there and just, like, read the menu. We took Dipper there when she was a little puppy as, like, a test of how was she in cafes. She did very well. All the waitresses loved her and adored her and cuddled her. And she loved it just because she got all the cuddles. Didn't love that I didn't share my chips though. Which, you know, I'm not going to share my chips, they're good. Maybe that's what I'll get for lunch, I'll just get chips. Very good chips. Switch back to the fill, but I'm making lots of little choppy lines with this brush. Or actually I should finish. Let's do that. You got a hammock delivery of a BLT? Oh, you're living the life, Jess. You're living the life. We thank the hammock delivery service for their wonderful exemplary thoughts and considerations of your hammock time. Very considerate and lovely. I said I was going to switch brush like ages ago and then I didn't. Switch! Yay. Guess what time in the afternoon do you estimate you may be out of the hammock and feel like going to a park? Or rather, that one park that is in our overlap. I'm estimating if I want to go get lunch, maybe like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. That over here needs so much work on top of the thing, but can't do anything until that skin dries. And yet I'm still sitting here fussing. Fussing, 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 fussing. I do! Oh no, I'm painting where you can't see. I'm sorry. I'll come back. Happy with whenever. Okay. How about we say 3 o'clock? No. 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock. Done. You haven't been to H&H since the before times? I think the main thing is just have a look at the menu before you go, so you don't feel as on the spot and rushed. Because like so many people are just getting coffee and they're very fast, and if you want food, like you want time to look at the menu and stuff. Or grab the menu, go outside, pick what you want outside, then go back in and order it. That can be a good strategy. That's what I did last time. Because, and like most people wait outside while they're waiting for their food, and that's good because you can social distance easier, but it's still just like inside is very tight. Claustrophobic-y. Definitely gonna have to put shadows below these cloud forms on her skin, and I think that will help it a lot. Because it will give that feeling of it's on top of her skin. So remind me next time I'm working on this, I need to do shadows. Shadows. I'm just gonna write shadows. Oh. We'll fix it. That's the idea of it, like going over our arm. No, you still have to debacle of parking, unfortunately. At least I thought so. But, like, obviously now that it's not seated service, the parking's a lot more available. And they've leased the opposite factory as well, so that it's got more parking marked as cafe. So yeah, they've ended up, like, buying parking spots off most of the other people who have businesses in that thing, so there's a whole bunch marked cafe, so you just gotta look for that. I've been able to park in there the last 2 times I've went, rather than across the road, which they did actually try and get a crossing put in, but then the council said there's already a crossing further down where the ambulance is, so they won't do another crossing there. And I'm like, that's bull. Yeah, so many crossings there are. Just make sure they all go off at the same time and then it's fine. Oh, there are drive pickup spots. Okay. Are they marked differently, Joe? Have I just not noticed? Like, pretty much everyone who's going now is doing drive pickup unless they're ordering and then picking. I took cakes of theirs to Sally's house when it was her birthday, and that was quite lovely. They're very rich cakes, but so pretty. I had one that was like a cookies and cream magnum with an inside layer with a little macaron on top. And I gave Sally the macaron because it was her birthday. She had one called the Queen, because that made sense, it was her birthday. Alright, I think this cloud needs work. But if I keep messing with it now, I'm just going to make it bigger and bigger and stuff it. So I think I'm going to call it there. And I'll add more shadows and things once it's dry. So it is going to have a nice drying time. See if I end up painting it tomorrow. Now I'm worried I'm gonna have cloud bleed into the skin areas if I paint it tomorrow, but if I just do the face, I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I'll just mess with the eye on Vicky's painting. Let this at least dry a little bit, like 2 days worth of drying, and then see how it goes. But once I fill in all this white area, it'll make a lot more sense. Yay! Wipe brushes. Remember to wipe. Blah 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 blah. And now that we've been talking about food so much, I am definitely hungry. Right outside the door. Okay. Some of the outside the door bit they turned into an outdoor seating area, and then now they've had to turn it into a like waiting for your food area where you can sit on milk crates. So I think it has probably changed from 6 months ago, but that makes sense because chaos. Chaos has reigned. Thank you all so much for joining me on stream today. I feel like we got heaps done on this painting. I'm very happy with how it's going. The clouds are just enough drama. I've just got to make the relationship of the clouds and her make a lot more sense. And things like adding shadows underneath and like a band of shadow here and stuff like that that'll make a world of difference. So we've progressed, and yeah, I will probably make this a little bit darker at the top again, just because it's looking a bit thin and wishy-washy and you can see the brush strokes really easily. But it's on its way. When this painting is finished, it will be part of a show with Off the Curve Gallery in Collingwood, but I will let you guys know more about that when it's finished. So thank you all for joining me, and I hope you have a lovely day, and you get up and have a stretch at the end of this, even if you're in a hammock, and have a lovely day. Yay! Thank you all so much for joining. I will see you next time. Next stream is next Thursday at 8 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time. See you later, guys. See you later, everyone. I said guys again. I don't mean to say that. See you later, everyone. And yes, 2 PM. Bye!